I got to tell you something, and I'm so glad you guys were there. And Mike, if we were so fortunate to go back to Germany, whatever you were doing this weekend, you just got to tell your employers at Fox that
I want pretzels and
beer. But that you want to have another assignment, or like you got something going on,
Daddy
find
Fox
someone to fill in for you. It's unreal how significant the NFL is in Germany.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you guys felt it, right? You met people
on the street.
You met people. You went to that bar, that Irish bar that was open for Thursday night football from 2 to 4 a.m. before they kicked you out. Yep. and then when you go to the stadium, to Allianz Arena, 70,000 people. There were 400,000 requests for tickets. And there were, and my poker buddies came out there. You met some of them we met all of them on Friday night at Hofbrauhaus, and so we went to. I had lunch in the beer gardens with them on Saturday, and we ran into a couple people from Long Island here and there, but everyone else had accents wearing a Packers hat. Mm-hmm. The accents wearing a Niners jersey. Accents wearing Seahawks are big over there.
Big,
right? I mean, and so this is real. And it's awesome. It really is great to see. And the atmosphere in that arena, it's unlike anything in the United States. It really is. And it's not like in London either. It's more raucous. They're drinking, they're having a blast, they're chanting, they're doing and they're also totally knowledgeable about what's on the field.
Yeah.
It's not like they're cheering loudly for a touchdown that's obviously going to get called back. Right. I mean, it is awesome. It's great. And so apparently Berlin is next, maybe, in Germany. There should be a game in Germany forevermore in the NFL every year.
Yeah.
There should, because there's an insatiable desire for it there. And I'm so glad you guys witnessed it yourself.
Yeah.
And the teams want to win. The teams want to win. Some players might be like, I got to take a flight all the way over here. I'm not really sampling anything out there. Although Bryce Young and his family did go through the BMW tour on Saturday that you guys did.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
On our special.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, Roku Joe is going through it with the Youngs.
Oh,
yeah,
that's awesome.
He was there.
Yeah, it was great.
We saw a couple of Giants players out at the beer garden that Saturday, and you could tell because they were wearing their own special Germany gear. Mm-hmm. They were drinking water, I might add.
Oh,
I'm not
okay.
just.
Good.
They were. Yeah, they weren't like, woo-hoo, we're gonna go out and hang.
Might have helped Daniel Jones. I don't know.
Speaking of that, so we're in our broadcast meeting, and Daniel Jones is coming in. We're gonna get him next, and Malik Neighbors sat down. And I don't know what was going on. I think Malik, I don't know the communication between the two of them or whatever, but they sat down together. And
that's unusual, right?
Very.
Okay.
Very. But it's unusual. Malik, it was only the second broadcast meeting. The Giants told us only the second broadcast meeting he's ever been part of. And, I didn't sense much palpable chemistry between the two. To be honest with you, I just don't know if Daniel Jones just hides his personality specifically or not. And he's so thoughtful. And he's so obviously smart. And at one point, Kurt Warner asked the two of them to say one thing about the other that they were impressed with. And the thing that Malik said about Daniel Jones was he didn't know he was this fast. Didn't know he was that fast. And Malik Neighbors, I should say as well, before I'm about to go on about with Daniel Jones, is really impressive. Very impressive. Brian Dable told us that he is constantly coming up with concepts and plays that he is coming up with to offer himself up as a decoy because of what he's seeing on film. And that Daboll takes those plays and puts them in the playbook, not necessarily going to call them, but he also wants to make sure that Malik continues to do this by saying, okay, you do this, you'll see it on the call sheet. Whether he calls it or not is a different story. Obviously, that's up to Daboll. And what Daboll's calling, guys, people are open. They are open. The number of times we were in a commercial break and Kurt was, talking back to the truck to say those guys were open. And they were started to right around the middle of the first quarter, second quarter, because you have to, when you're calling a game, start to notice what's happening and see if it becomes a trend. We might be talking about it in the third quarter. So, let's just say last night, for instance, with the Rams. Remember the miscues package that popped up in the Monday night game? They start compiling those. So if that's the trend and that's now a story in the third, fourth quarter, you're going to show that. So they were starting to compile the number of times that Kurt sees from up where he's sitting, people are open, and Jones misses him. First drive, Malik Neighbors gets open on a third down, and Jones with a clean pocket airmails him. The flea flicker. Now, you could sit here and go, why are they calling a flea flicker when they're moving up and down when they're moving down the field, and you got Tyrone Tracy Jr., who, by the way, is a very talented kid. He's good. Giants have some players who can catch it and run it. And why are you calling for a flea flicker? Well, because it was going to work. There were two guys on the route. They were both wide open, and Jones held onto it. And at the top of the screen, I saw this live. And if you watch the replay again, if they show the replay of the All-22, you can see Daboll at the top of the screen. Kind of losing it. And he's I think his comportment on the sidelines this year is something he's been working on, because that was brought up to him, I guess, in the offseason. Like, hey, man.
Like his body language.
Remember that? That was a conversation there?
Yeah. Oh, he's hot.
He's scheming them up. Guys, they are open. And it's just like, it's year 6 for you. How are we missing this? If the Giants cut him before next June 1, they save $19 million on the cap. That's all you need to know. Wow. I mean, that's truly all you need to know.
Yeah.
It would cost them $22 in dead money, but I think they're ready to pay it. And if some of this money is guaranteed, if he gets hurt in the next 6-7 games, it might be Drew Lock time. And that may be what they're considering over the next week plus. They love Daboll. The owners love him. There's a lot to like about him, certainly when you meet him. He's just like a regular dude.
Yeah, we saw him on the street in the Phoenix Super Bowl, and yeah, he was great.
Saban guy, Belichick guy, and the type of guy you want in New York City with a thick skin or whatever. But I based on what we saw in that game, they could have won it, man. And I know that they got overtime because Jones did have a nice fourth quarter. That's the crazy thing, too. Is like, where is that in the first 3 quarters?
He's got moments in every game where you're just like, okay, this is it. This was the playoff guy that we saw in Minnesota, and then he does the dumbest.
But you remember the red flags involving Neighbors coming out of the draft? Mm-hmm. I didn't see a damn thing. That he's on it. Like, he's prepped. He's ready to go.
I like that he's drawing up plays.
Yeah, he is.
That's cool.
Yeah, and not for
he's
him.
doing that.
Good note.
Yeah, for decoy. He's suggesting be decoy.
Yeah, I guess it's one thing if it's like, hey, I got all these plays for me.
Yeah, I asked him, like, do you ever see that out of a rookie? And he kind of was like, I don't see that out of a lot of veterans.
Yeah. I got to say, too, I was happy for you and Kurt that the game went to overtime.
Please.
Just because I knew that's all you really wanted was a good game. A game that you could get excited and call. So when that game went to overtime, I was kind of like, all right, yeah, good for you guys.
I started asking the crew, how do you say, overtime in German? I got a couple of suggestions. Mm-hmm. But
I mean, you didn't impress the way Hockley impressed going out there in the second, making that call. Holy cow!
I know
the crowd went nuts. So when he did that.
After he did that, I not only started brushing up on my German, but I started doing some curls. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku Channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.